inspiratory pressure. I'll tell you, guaranteed in your test, the RT will probably have about 5 or 6 questions on BiPAP, and they'll give you an ABG on a CO2 being about 90 to 85, 90, right. And they'll give you a BiPAP settings, 12/4, 10/5. What would you do next? Now, you're not going to do anything on expiratory pressure because expiratory pressure is for oxygenation, all right? You can't get too high of expiratory pressure, too, because that could also pop the lung, having too high of expiratory pressures, right? Because that's when you go, and that's for the expiratory side to keep that out, keep the alveoli open. That's what PEEP is.
Oh, yeah.
So inspiratory side, if you increase the inspiratory side, you're basically enabling you to take a bigger breath in and allow bigger volumes in the lungs, all right? Because if you have, all right, say watch, ready? I wish this guy had some that kind of feedback that he can give with his lungs.
So is it a bigger breath or like a longer breath, or do they go hand in hand?
If you go, basically it's going to be the same thing. I mean, if you go 15/4,
Yeah.
you see his volume's going up. If he's 12/4, his tidal volumes, everybody's different. But I'll tell you right now, I've had people 12/4 and their volume's been 250, very low.
Yeah.
So what I'll generally do is, automatically, I would call the doctor and he would say, all right, just bump up to 16/4, or anything to maintain greater than or equal to 350 on the volumes in the lungs. Now here they'll probably say 8 to 10 milliliters a kilogram is what you need as a minimum to keep going for the lungs. All right, so that's why you'll probably increase it. That's inspiratory side. Don't worry about the expiratory side yet, I'll get to that. But as in an inspiratory case, I always like people to have good volumes. Of course, everybody does here. Have you seen any of these machines in the hospital?
Not yet.
You've seen one or two. We have the V60s in Riverview, which is like the all touch screen. I mean, it's beautiful. These ones I like. Those ones I hate. We only have those in the LTAC. We have the Monmouth, and I've used about 2 of them, and I hate them. But this is a great machine. It's easy to work. I mean, you can see everything on here. Easy. I always do the rise time. I mean, think about rise time. All right.
That's how fast.
Whatever. I usually like it on a higher. On a higher one, 0.4 is fine. You can do lower, but again, you'll push the expiratory side. If you go lower on the rise time, what would you do with the expiratory side? If you lower, because this is inspiratory. Right? You go like this. If you go longer, obviously the expiratory side is going to be lower.
Yeah.
All right. So look at it this way. I generally look, I mean, you look at the volumes here, his volume's at 509. What should I do when I go to 10? Go to 10. There we go. Alright, watch for that. Because he's apnea, obviously he's not breathing. There's nothing going on with him. So generally, doctors in my hospital will use this as a ventilator. And it's really sad. And this is what's going to happen to you guys when you get out. You'll see it a lot. They'll use this. You see this rate right here? It should never be. It should always be 6 to 10. That's fine. We usually have it like 18.
What?
So basically, they're acting as like DNR patients. You'll see this will be set on 16, so it's acting as a ventilator, non-invasive ventilator. Because that's what this is. It's a non-invasive ventilator. All right. You're mimicking. You're giving extra inspiratory time with the volume. Expiratory side we usually like on 5. Now you'll see here. You see what it went down to? You see what that went down to?
Yeah.
Like 305, right? If you increase this, just say 20, which the highest I think I've ever seen it was 24. And the guy was a DNI, so do not intubate. Now watch what happens here.
Oh, wow.
You see the difference?
That's a lot.
So you go up a lot on, I mean, here, let me bump up the rate a little bit on this guy being that he's not breathing. So, hang on 1 second. I'll put it on.
Were you increasing IPAP?
Yeah, that was IPAP. So when you increase the IPAP, you're going to increase the inspiratory pressure for the volumes to get bigger. All right, don't worry about expiratory pressure right now. I'll tell you about that later, but you have no pulse ox on him. If his oxygen is low, we tend to increase the expiratory pressure. And I know you guys will probably learn the same thing, if you're on 60% on the oxygen, we usually don't like to go much higher on the oxygen and the FiO2 before increasing the PEEP. All right, which PEEP is expiratory pressure. All right. So we'll leave it on 5 here for now, but if we have generally an oxygenation problem, some doctors will tell you increase the FiO2, but some doctors will just say increase the PEEP, which we go up to about 6. It's probably gibberish to you guys right now. You'll get used to it, everything going on here with the expiratory and inspiratory pressures. And now, what's the difference between the two? So right now I have 20/5. Yeah.